choir directors. My name is Shay Twinter. I'm the director of choirs at Ray Peck East Middle School in Raymore, Missouri, and I am here to present to you this presentation called Ukulele. It's all about providing a non-performing music course option for new choir directors or just mixing it up for our veterans. I apologize that this doesn't look like I wanted it to. My new technology isn't talking to my old apps, so we'll fix that later. Just a little bit about me. I am a veteran teacher of 15 years, 10 years at East and various other places. I have taught high school and primarily 6 through 8. This is a course, however, that I think could apply to anything, K through 12. This is my contact information. Those are my family. So if you get through this presentation and you have some more questions, just feel free to email me right there and I will do my best to do whatever I can to help you as you start your journey in the area of ukulele. So why is a ukulele class a plausible solution for your school? Let me give you a demonstration. This is my school, Raymore Peculiar East Middle School. I teach upwards of 300 kids every semester. I have performing choirs and I have an experiencing music class for 6th to 8th graders. Before I introduced the ukulele class, it was an advanced performing choir class and like a all call, anyone can join choir class, which is great, but I would always have a student that would tell me, I'm in this class because I didn't have any other classes to take, or I transferred in, or I didn't make the other choir, so I need to be in this one. Or, hey, I'm so good, I made the other choir and I love music and I want to be in your class multiple times. So we had kids coming from all different areas of life and trying to dump into this one general music course, and it just wasn't working. Some years I'd have 15 in a class, some years I'd have 8, and some years I'd have 30. I needed something that was consistent and something that engaged the kids, something that they went, oh, I really want to be in this class, and not, oh, this is the last choice on my list, and I got it. So here enters the ukulele class. The ukulele class can be a solution. It provided a place for students who maybe were not interested in a high performance music ensemble, but they loved music, or they needed a class to fill their schedule, or maybe they transferred in mid-semester and the school district needs a class that kids can come in and they can be successful in mid-semester. And ukulele class is definitely that. So not only does it help your program, but it also helps your district. So why choose U-class instead of another performing group? Ukulele class provides options that performing groups or music appreciation courses can't provide. Here are some instances. Ukulele classes don't have to perform in front of big audiences, which may appeal to some of your students, especially for my very shy middle school kids. It's a big appeal factor. You can perform. We've, taken the kids to perform for other classmates. You could take them to the old folks' home and play Christmas carols one year. There are options for them to perform, but if you have a group that doesn't really want to perform, they don't have to. You can have a uke class with any assortment of students. This is what I love. I've had a ukulele class upwards of 40 students, which is exactly how many ukuleles I have. And I've had a class of 10 ukulele students. My IEP kids, my 504 kids, my high on the spectrum when it comes to emotional issues. A lot of them are successful in this class where they may not be successful other places. And it is so satisfying to see a kid latch on to that ukulele and be successful in any route, and it makes it great. It doesn't matter if they're pitch matching or if they're non-pitch matching, especially for my middle school boys that have some pitch matching issues as their voice changes. It's easy to set up for teachers with multiple preps. I have like 6 preps, and this is something that I can do, and I can do it well. It wasn't just a matter of, oh, can I get this done? It was, hey, if I do this, is it going to be successful? Is it going to be high level? It can be taught by band or choir. This year, our band director is taking a section of it, and so it's easily transferable. It's job security. No longer do I have to watch the cafeteria. No longer do I have to do ISS duty. I have so many kids that want my classes that I have to teach music, which is what I'm trained to do, which is what I love to do. I stand in the hallway in the passing period and I play the ukulele, and the kids think it's amazing. Um, the, my bosses are satisfied, they're happy because we have a place for a lot of kids to go. So this is definitely job security. Okay, so let's say that in the last 5 minutes I've convinced you to have ukulele class. So where do you start? Well, these are some of the things that I use in my class. You don't have to use this. This is where I started. I bought a Kala Waterman soprano ukulele. That's the little black one right there. It ran about $40 a piece for a classroom set. I have 40 because our graduating classes are about 500 each. My school has about half of each graduating class for each of the grades, so I have a classroom set of 40. I absolutely love Essential Elements books. My husband is a band director, and when I saw that they made an Essential Elements for ukulele, I knew my job was made. Because Essential Elements, they line it out. They tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. If you order the book, I would highly suggest getting the book that had the digital download, because the digital download provides background music while the kids play the excerpts that they've learned. So you're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Essential Elements has created a track, an MP3 download, with, you have a password code, you get the password code, you log it in, it downloads all those tracks to your computer, and then while they're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, the track has the drums and the guitar and the bass and the shakers and everything, and it makes it really interesting, and they think that they're just major rock band and they're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. So it's great. I would also suggest getting tuners. Now, I don't have my 6th graders tune. I start teaching my 7th graders to tune. I think that's definitely negotiable. You may have a really great 6th grade class. I have yet to learn how to teach my 6th graders how to tune a ukulele without completely messing it up. I do not have a classroom set of tuners. I have 10. Oops, sorry, going to sleep. I have 10 tuners. I like this tuner. I think it's called a shark tuner. My friends during our presentation told me I think it's a shark tuner. It's really nice, but it's also somewhat expensive. Kala makes a tuner, which is the brand of the ukulele, but I bought 10 of them and I don't like them. So I would say, from my personal view, don't get the Kala ones. I would look for something that has a better review in it than that. I do know the shark ones are a little expensive. If you're a district that allows the kids to use their cell phones, there are tuning apps out there that are really good. Some of them are free. Some of them are a couple of bucks. So sometimes I use my phone instead of using the tuner. It just depends on what kind of day it is. So you're going to need a classroom set of ukuleles, whatever you designate that classroom set to be. You're going to need the same amount of Essential Element books, and you're going to need some tuners. So how do you teach a ukulele class? So I think it's funny that when I started this process, I had no idea how to play the ukulele. And I wasn't really worried because, my husband is a band director and he's a guitarist. But I was researching it on YouTube, and it is totally achievable. So first step, I love this, tune all the ukuleles. This takes forever. And it takes forever because as the ukulele sits for a while, after it's first been tuned, the strings will start to stretch and it'll go out of tune again. And so for the first, couple of months, you're going to find that you're tuning that ukulele over and over and over. At first, I only put like 20 ukuleles out until they started holding their strength, and then I started incorporating more. So like the kids shared for a little bit until I could get them all tuned. Now I do a rotation while they're practicing where I go through and I'll call them up in alphabetical order one time. and I'll tune their ukuleles. And the next time I'll reverse alphabet order. Or sometimes I'll just start with one side of the room and I'll rotate to the other side of the room. It just, it makes it up every day so that I'm tuning them as they're practicing. We'll take time, and as they're practicing, I'll tune, we'll pause, we'll do our thing, and then we'll resume practicing, and then I'll keep tuning. But it does take forever. Please plan ahead for that. I did not. So make sure they know their vocab. My really great friend who co-directs with me, she teaches at the other middle school where I teach. She created this awesome Google form. We are a one-to-one district. The kids have their own Chromebooks. So we would dump this Google form test, into their Google Classroom. And I had my kids take it as many times as they needed to take it until they could get all 5 of them correct. They had to talk about the head, the pegs, the neck, the body, and the sound hole. They had to be able to know what they are, so that if we're in class and they say, hey, don't touch the pegs, they know that, hey, that's the thing that the wire wraps around, and they're not asking me weird questions. So first off, tune your ukuleles. Second off, make sure they know their vocab. And then I set it up a very specific rehearsal system. I've learned in 15 years of teaching middle school that middle schoolers love a system. They will balk against it. Oh, this is so boring. But they love everything to be predictable, because so much of their life right now is not. So my plan is this. My kids come together at the very beginning, and we write down our classroom work and our homework and our agendas. It's the expectation at my school. Then after they do that, I put on my timer on the smart board, and I say, all right, you have 2 minutes. I give them 2 minutes to take a lap and get a drink of water. There's a water fountain in my room, so they walk around the room, they get a drink of water. They have to get their ukulele, they have to get their book, and they have to find a starting place. Every day, half the class gets to sit on the floor around my room. The other half will sit on the risers. It kind of regulates space, and it also keeps them far enough away from each other that they're not tempted to talk or get distracted during practice time. Once they've found that spot, then I will demonstrate what I want them to achieve. Hey, this is the skill in 7 minutes of practice that I want you to be able to achieve. I want you to be able to play the C and the G7 chord back to back. And I'll give them 1 step, and I'll set the timer. And for 7 minutes, they have to practice. A lot of times I'll give them, this is where I want you to be, and if you get there, then try this. Or if I see that there's one kid he's been taking guitar lessons for a long time, I may walk over and say, okay, great, why don't you try this next part? This book starts off teaching in chord structures. So, it's 3 notes or 4 notes if it's a 5/7 chord. It will teach single notes in the middle of the first volume, but I don't get through to the single notes until the semester's over. So it's more kind of a second semester type of a thing. So I give them a job. I say, hey, I want you to work on page 5, number 6. And they have to work on number 6 for 7 minutes. And then at the end of that 7 minutes, we play together. And then they get a 2-minute break. They get to walk around, talk with their friends, get a drink, and then we're back at it again. Okay, in this 7 minutes, I want you to do this. I cannot tell you how hard practicing for 7 minutes is for middle school students. The soft skill of perseverance is like non-existent. They have no idea. So a lot of times we have to stop on those first couple of days when we talk about perseverance. This is not a microwave type of a thing. It's a slow cooker type of a thing. It's not an Instapot, right? It's an oven thing. And I love how I get to watch them as they practice. They get to think about it. And I can call out things like, don't give up. If you're struggling, try this. If you're struggling, try this. And I can, hey, try playing this chord by itself and then this chord by itself and then play the 2 chords back to back. I can give them practice techniques. But I'm teaching them to withstand longer than an episode of, something that they watch on YouTube. And that's not something that they're normally used to. They don't have to just play the ukulele, however. There are times that we take a pause in our ukulele class and we do music history. I was totally surprised. We did a Baroque unit. And since they had Chromebooks, I said, Hey, why don't you pause? I'm going to pause here and then I'm going to start it over again.